Hello, this is Mike Celestino with Laughing Place, and I've got this Lego Star Wars Droid Commander set, and I'm very interested to open this up because it's not the kind of Lego set that I usually get. I'm more into the minifigure scale stuff, and this is larger scale. Obviously, you can build R2-D2 here. There's a mouse droid and the Gonk droid. This is actually the Gonk droid from Solo, a Star Wars story, in the scene where they have the droid fight in the lodge. And they're all kind of remote control via the app that you can download on your mobile device. And you can see here, the mouse droid actually has a kind of a battle function as well. Here's the Gonk droid attacking a dummy kind of thing. And then here you can see all the parts of R2, and here's what the app looks like, and then R2 kind of interfacing with a little panel there. So I'm going to open this up and we'll see what it's like inside, and then we'll test out some of the functions. I'm very curious to check it out. Let's open up the box here. And this uses the Boost system, build, code, and play, and that's a good way to teach kids how to program a robot and give it tasks, and it's just an interesting introduction to that world if they're interested in that kind of thing. Okay, I got the tape open here. Let's dump out the contents of the box. And this has 1,177 pieces. It's set number 75253. It's recommended for ages 8 and up. And inside we've got the quick start guide. This is just kind of a plate. Something in here. I believe this is the motor, if I had to guess. And there's a lot of bags. Here's one of the sensors for the droids. Let's organize these bags. It's one. Okay, so there's 12 total bags of individual parts. That's 12 steps that we've got to cover to build all the droids. And let's find out what's in here as well. So this does indeed look like one of the motors. This is a larger motor that gets used as the base of, I believe, R2, if not more than one of the droids. But we're going to find out. So I'll clear all this off and we'll start building. Okay, the interesting thing here with this quick start guide is that this is the only booklet that came with the entire set. And it's telling me to download the app and then follow these steps. I got to insert some batteries here, AAA batteries, into the motor. And using the app, I guess I have to follow instructions on the app to build the droids, which I find a little bit frustrating in concept. I'm very used to using a paper instruction manual to build Lego, but I'm going to attempt it and we'll see. I'll let you know how easy or difficult I find it to be. So I'll get started on that here. Okay, so this is a little more complicated than I was anticipating. I had to download the app, like I said, and I went ahead and did that, and I unscrewed the bottom of this, put 6 AAA batteries in here, which I luckily found around the house. Hopefully they will last throughout this test of this system here. And then when I opened up the Star Wars Boost Lego Droid app, it asked me to turn this on. So I pressed that green button here on the top, and then this was able to connect to this via my phone, via the Bluetooth on my phone. And now, as you can see, it's updating the firmware in this motor. So we'll see what happens when that wraps up in just a second here. You can see the light changing colors. I think that means it's being interfaced with. And this is about to finish, so let's see. So right now I'm talking to Watto, who is asking me to build these droids for him. I unlocked Watto's shop in the app. There was a Star Wars logo in the beginning, and the Millennium Falcon crashed on Tatooine in an animation. So I'm going to click here. We'll see. Now Watto asks me to build the droid. So I think that's going to be the next step. But we're going to start with R2-D2. So I think that makes the most sense. Assembling R2-D2. Okay, so that was loading. And then we go to building R2-D2. Build all the props to access the mission. Build. Here we go. Okay, so this is the first step. I'm going to get to building. We'll do it in fast motion. And here we go. Okay, I wanted to pause here because I finished building R2-D2. There were some pieces left over, but I believe these pieces are going to be used when I take out the motor to put it in one of the other droids, and then these will replace those parts. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it wasn't entirely clear in the building instructions. There are also the usual leftover extra small pieces that you get in any Lego set. Here's a kind of a closer view of R2. I did find one part of this build particularly frustrating. It was mostly straightforward except for tucking in this motor part. If you can see, this kind of gets tucked into R2's body in there, and you have to tuck these wires all the way into underneath the chassis there, and it was very frustrating for me. I did not enjoy that part of the build. I couldn't get it quite right. I kept having to take out the motor and redo it, and it still doesn't look right to me, but at least it's out of the way enough that the legs can move, and I think that's really the only 100% important thing. Put R2 down there. And now I'm going to open up the app here, and we're going to test him out because that part, the build part, is done. So now you can see what the app looks like when it's first booting. It gives you the long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And then it starts up here. Okay, and we're in Watto's shop here. I click on this. We go to R2-D2. We already assembled him. Then we go to next. You have built R2-D2. Now see what he can do. Complete the coding tutorial to learn R2-D2's basic functions. Okay, that's loading. Okay, before we go any further, I do want to say that if you plan on buying this set, I highly recommend purchasing a fresh pack of 6 AAA batteries, because I just tried to fire up the droid here, and the batteries that I had found around the house did not have enough juice in it to run R2, so I had to run out and get some new batteries and take the whole thing apart, unscrew the motor in here, tuck those wires back in and everything. It was a little bit of a pain, but we're back on track, and I'm going to reboot the app and start from where we left off here. So it wants me to drag this play button to that middle position, and then we got a roll command, and then droid is not connected. Yeah, I had a feeling. So we got power him up first. Forgot that part. Okay, I believe it's connected now. The light is staying on the droid, and we're rebooting the app. Droid not connected. Nope, now it's connected. Okay, R2-D2 is waking up. Great. Drag this. We drag this. And we press play. And R2 is awake. Look at that. That's cool. He's waking up. He's turning his head. Oh, he moved forward a little bit. Whoa. No, R2, you don't want to go off the edge. Okay, so we'll move him back. I don't know. Okay, so now it wants me to drag this here. And then drag it back to that bar. And then drag the play button back to that bar. And you could go back a step. And then there's a forward command. We press play. And R2 rolls forward. And all 3 legs kind of standing up straight there. So then you have a series of directional arrows here. So you can give him a back. Then you could give him a forward again. And then a right turn. And a left turn at the end. Let's see. So he went forward, back, forward, turn right, turn left. That's pretty cool. Okay, so you get the idea. You kind of can program a series of movements for R2 in the app here. And I think that's pretty neat. It was a complicated process for me, personally. As a Lego fan, I like to just be able to build things and look at them. But if you're into robotics and programming, this is pretty neat. I like it. It's going to be a fun challenge for younger kids who are into this kind of thing, who are into Star Wars and robots, and learning how to sequence programs like this. So this one wants me to clap. Oh, hi, R2. R2. Yes. Okay, so basically this command means that when you make noise, R2 is going to turn his head. So that's kind of interesting. Watto is happy with my progress there. Okay, so I've programmed this. It's going to start with him leaning back. Then he's going to turn his head. Then he's going to go forward, and then hopefully turn around entirely, a 180, to face the other direction. Then go forward 1, and then turn his head again. Let's see if that works. So that went a little too far. We're going to try this. I took away a couple of the forward arrows, so he's not going to go as far. So he's going to... Well, actually, now he's leaning back. We can have him... There we go. So let's try this. His turning radius is a little too wide for this table, but you get the idea, and that's pretty cool. Okay, so I got the hand wave thing. So this is the idea is that if you wave your hand in front of him, that's an alternative to pressing the play button. So I could take that command away. Let's trash all this. And we'll put in voice, and then we'll put in leaning back. Well, so it's already starting because it's got a voice command to do that. Let's take that away. Go R2. Okay, so that's a noise activated version. That's pretty neat. So you got a wide selection of here. I think this one would make it just kind of pause for a moment. So these are the two. What is this one? So this is waving at it would make it pause, I believe. And then you got voice or noise activation, standing up, leaning back, rotating its head. Then you got all the directions, and then this one, the purple one, makes him talk. But it's really the app talking, so it's not actually coming out of the Lego bricks, it's coming out of my phone. But that's pretty neat. And here's just a closer look of the actual build of R2 himself. And with the motor, the space that they put for the motor inside him and everything, it's not going to be the most screen accurate Lego R2-D2, but it's still immediately recognizable as R2-D2, and he definitely has the personality that you would expect from the most famous astromech droid that there is. These elements here are printed. They're not stickers. There were no stickers included in this set, which I appreciate. These as well. Those are just printed pieces. And overall, I like the look of this thing. Obviously, they have to accommodate for this giant motor piece to go inside of him. So that's going to largely affect how he's shaped and sized and everything. So, but otherwise, I think he looks good. It looks like R2. And I think what we're going to do is actually make this a part one and come back at another date when I have some more time and build the mouse droid and the gonk droid, and we'll try those out. My first response, I think, is that as a Lego fan, just looking to build and look at some cool Lego in the Star Wars galaxy, it's a little overcomplicated. I don't love having to download the app, get batteries, unscrew this thing, tuck in those wires. But once it's all done and put together, it is pretty neat. I think it's going to be a hit with kids who are into robotics and, you know, dorky kids like I was growing up and just who like playing around with this kind of thing and experimenting. And then you could probably run a course or something at your school and people would be impressed by your robotic skills. But that's going to be it for now, and we'll come back and look at the other two droids, like I said, a little later on. Thank you so much for watching. This is Mike Celestino with Laughing Place. This was R2-D2 in the Droid Commander. Thanks for watching. We'll see you real soon.